Hi, good morning, everybody. And it's so good to be in touch with you people. I hope all of you are taking very good care of yourselves and your family. So stay disciplined and stay indoors. So let's begin our day with William Shakespeare's Tempest. And we've already come into Act 4, Scene 1 now, which is what you're going to do in Standard 12. We have already graduated from the last three acts, and that makes me presume that you have a very sound knowledge of the plot of the play and also a very good critical insight into the different characters that are there in the play, precisely Prospero, Ariel, Miranda, Antonio and Caliban. So Act 4 Scene 1 draws in Miranda and Ferdinand's wedding and marriage, and it is for this reason that Act 4 Scene 1 explores marriage in different levels. You will find Prospero talking in a very coarse manner to Ferdinand over Miranda's virginity. This coarse discussion of a father to his future son-in-law over his daughter's virginity lays emphasis on the fact that there is much difference and disparity in knowledge and experience between Miranda and her future husband, Ferdinand. That's because Prospero has kept his daughter extremely innocent. She is aloof and untarnished from the materialistic pleasures and doings of the world. As a result, Ferdinand's unprecedented and vulgar descriptions of the pleasures of a wedding bed definitely brings us into a limelight and into a conclusion that Miranda's innocence has to die one day. She has to change. She will get married. She'll lose her virginity. And she will change in an entirely new way. Let's understand one thing, children, that this discussion is a blunt reminder of the fact that change is inevitable, and it's an essence of life. Miranda will get married and she'll give herself in an entirely new way to a man besides her father. Although Prospero perfunctorily initiates and participates in the sexual pleasures and discussions of the weddings, he also seems to be affected by it in some or the other way. And it's for this reason point to be noted that he will make an unprecedented and unexpected commentary on the transitory nature of life and on his old age. And that's what is important, because it lays a philosophical foundation to this play, in contrast to how the scene begins with. Probably a daughter's approaching age and growth, and her daughter's wedding initiates these ideas in Prospero's minds. So let the curtain rise now, and let's see where are these important characters after the curtain has risen. We find Prospero, Ferdinand and Miranda right outside his cell. That's supposed to be the island, and it is needless to tell you why he calls his island as a cell, because he's been forced to live here for long, difficult years, and he has been literally languishing, but nevertheless that has really served in an advantageous part of his life, because he's grown to be a very powerful sorcerer here in this island. So let's see how Prospero, in contrast to his proud, haughty, arrogant nature, talks apologetically to Ferdinand because of all the difficult tasks which he had exposed him to in the previous scenes. I hope you remember that. So Prospero talks apologetically to Ferdinand, and he says that, if I have too austerely punished you, my child, your compensation may commence. That is, if I have too severely, too strictly punished you, disciplined you, then my rectifications shall make a compensation for the odious tasks that you have been exposed to. I'm ready to make amends. I'm ready to make rectifications. It's been my mistake. He's apologizing. He's accepting the fact that he has purposely done this. And I'm going to compensate. How? For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live. And that's how I'm going to compensate. I'm going to give you the third most important, valuable thing of my life, for which a poor father like me is alive. And who is this third important thing? It's his daughter, Miranda. So what are the two important things which he is not told? It's perhaps the dukedom and his knowledge of the sorcery and the magic. He says that once again I tender to thy hand. I give my daughter most happily, most delicately to you. It's very relative to the Indian convention when the father gives away the hand of his daughter to the future groom and son-in-law in the wedding. And that's famous as Kanyadan. And you see how the two cultures and two traditions, way different, one happens to be of the Western world and one happens to be Indian, still has got some similarity between them. So let's see what happens further. He says, all thy vexations, my dear Ferdinand, all your troubles and all your displeasures were but my trial of thy love. They have all been my examinations for your love for my daughter. And thou have strangely stood the test. And you have very, very strangely approached and come up with flying colors. You have proved yourself here before heaven, just like before the fire, the wedding takes place. Before heaven, before the gods, before the Almighty, I ratify this my rich gift. I authenticate, I sanction my rich gift, the third most important thing of my life, my daughter to you. Oh Ferdinand, do not smile at me. Do not smile and do not laugh because I boast of her. Don't feel that I am boasting too much about her because, for thou shalt find, because you will yourself see, Ferdinand, that your would-be wife and my daughter will outstrip all praise. She will outbeat all the appreciation and compliments in the world and make it halt behind her. He ends up this dialogue with a personification that my daughter is also a contender in a race where all the other compliments are personified as athletes, and she will beat them, and the other compliments shall be found limping at her back, because my daughter is much beyond any appreciations are meant for, and she will prove it to you. Children, that's all for today. Please do revise the text and come up with your doubts in your class WhatsApp group, and your class teacher shall revert back with that. Thank you.